Hey guys, 2014 is ending and I just hit a big milestone, 5,000 subscribers. It's pretty impressive for me because when I set out to do this whole thing about a year ago, my goal was to hit 1,000 subs before the end of 2014. Way more than exceeded that, as you can imagine. Hit 1,000 subs about halfway through the year. And even though I've been on YouTube since about 2006 and making airsoft videos on and off, I really wanted to focus on the channel and do some quality content, consistent content, put it out over and over, sort of on an expected basis. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this, and I want to thank you for all your feedback. Thanks for liking, subscribing, following. If you're not already subscribed, you might consider subscribing. But I thought I'd do a top 5 video since 5,000 subscribers, 500,000 views, and just it's the end of the year. That's when you have to do these videos, right? So I decided to do top 5 guns that I've used this year.
There goes your bipod.
If I had to say one thing that distinguishes my channel from other channels, it's variety. I try to do all sorts of things like reviews, gameplays, DIY videos. On top of that, whenever I do a gameplay video, I typically use some kind of new gun. I'm lucky enough to have a big collection, and I'm trying to use all the guns I have, or at least the ones that are somewhat skirmishable. So sometimes that makes for really cool gameplay, and sometimes I get bit in the butt by that because some of these guns are just horrible to play with, to be honest. So that kind of brings me to my first gun, that KJW M700 bolt action sniper rifle. Now I've had this gun for a while and I've just left it on the shelf because it was so inconsistent. It ran on green gas. It was shooting in the high, like 500 feet per second range, which was way too much for any field I ever go to. So first thing I did was convert it to CO2 with the regulator in stock, and that gave me the ability to control the feet per second. So the gun became skirmishable, and when I took it out to SC Village, I did not have a very productive day with it, but it's very fun to use. You can imagine everyone who gets into airsoft, their first dream is to be a sniper. Just playing video games and watching every sniper movie, all you do is lay and hide, and then you just waste people one after the next, one BB or one shot per person, and they're done. Of course, this is not how it works in airsoft. You end up sitting somewhere with a minimum 50-foot engagement or 100-foot engagement at SC Village and taking shots whenever possible. Usually they rear off course, or people don't call them because you're shooting far away, and by the time they get there it has almost no energy left. So even though I did not have the greatest time, the most fun with it, I think it's a very unique gun, and it's, if nothing else, even if you get 0 kills with it, you'll still get to work that bolt and look through that scope through those crosshairs, which is very exciting on its own. So I put out number 5 because it wasn't a great outing for me, but it's still an awesome gun. Moving on from the M700, the next gun on the list is the KTW lever action Winchester 1873 replica. Now what's cool about this gun is it's spring powered, so you don't need to use gas, no battery, nothing like that. You just pump the lever just like the real gun, and you get to shoot 1 BB per shot. It's sort of similar to the M700 in its operation, is that you gotta work the action in between each shot, so it's not gonna be rapid fire whatsoever. But this one's a little quicker, and it's a little smaller and lighter, more portable. And I took it to a smaller field where it was shooting well within the limits, so I was able to engage at close distances. So I had a lot of fun with it, even though I was outgunned by pretty much everyone there. I did manage to get a few kills, and it was just a really fun time, and it was very unique. Got lots of looks and likes and questions about it. So it's a cool gun, and it gives you that very original angle when you go to play at an airsoft field. Moving on to number 3, that's the Marussian M29. Now when I got this gun, I got it almost as a collector's piece, but I thought I'd take it out. It's shell powered, 6 shells per cylinder and 1 BB per shell, so it has absolutely no advantage over a semi-auto pistol. But just like the KTW lever action, it's very unique. No one uses a revolver as their primary weapon. I knew I was going to have a hard time with it. I took it to a very small field, a CQB field, where you're just shooting point blank at people, to where rate of fire is not that important. It's more getting the drop on the person. And I was surprised how well I did with this gun. I had a ton of kills. I was sneaking around. It's very mobile. And one thing I discovered is that it's really quiet. And that actually came very handy in on such a small field. Of course, that's not anything at all like the real gun, but in airsoft it actually had its advantages. It was very fun to use, and I was surprised how quick I was able to reload in between rounds. Just fun to use, really. That's the best way I could describe it. It was a very unique airsoft experience. Hit. Number 2, I gotta give it to my VFC 416. This gun's probably seen more action this year than any other gun. It is a kind of that standard gun that everybody has, M4, 416. That's pretty much 80% of airsoft. But whenever I just want to play and I want to have I don't have to worry about the weapon, I go to that because it's reliable. It's had a couple upgrades. Has a crazy rate of fire for an electric gun. It's very accurate. It's very light. I've gutted the gas system. It's so minimal. All I have is on there is a vertical grip and an EOTech. The battery's in the buffer tube, so it's very balanced. And it's just a pleasure to use. I love it. It's my backup gun to every field I go whenever something goes down. So I really love this gun. The only reason that it didn't get into number 1 is it's because it's very commonplace. And I think since my channel is kind of famous for variety, I couldn't put it at number 1. But it is my favorite gun to play with whenever I just want to play for the sake of the game, not for entertainment value or any kind of unique angle.
Oh my god, dude.
That brings us to number 1, and that award goes to the Tokyo Marui M870 pump action shotgun. And this gun takes the first place for several reasons. First of all, it's really fun to use. You pump the action in between each shot, and it has a very satisfying, realistic sound to it. It's shell fed, and unlike something like the revolver where it's 1 BB per shell, this one holds 30 BBs, so you have a good capacity and you can shoot 6 BBs per shot. So even at the 6 BBs per shot option, you get 5 shots, which is very comparable to a real shotgun, and you put out a nice cloud of BBs. This thing just destroys. Plus I had probably my best run of the year with it when we outflanked the other team, and I was just shooting everyone in the back. They had no clue we were there, and this thing was just devastating everybody. It's a lot of fun to use, and unlike a lot of the other guns here, like the bolt action rifle or the lever action or the revolver, it is actually practical. This thing could hold its own against an AEG because it doesn't have the rate of fire, obviously, or the capacity, but each shot with that instant trigger on the gas gun, 6 BBs per shot, if you get it anywhere near the target, you'll probably hit your target. And I've upgraded with the Angry Gun kit, and it looks badass, it's fun to shoot, it feels great, it's very consistent, reliable, just like you'd expect from Marui. And it's just an awesome gun. I think everybody, if you're considering the shotgun, this is the only gun to even consider. I've enjoyed this gun. I've used it several times this year, and it takes the number 1 spot. So I'm looking forward to next year. I don't know what guns I'll use. I got some good stuff coming up. So thank you guys for all the support. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Hope you guys had a good year as well, and I'm looking forward to next year and all the airsoft excitement to come. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.